so thin. Oh, ooh.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. So for today's video, it's going to be my WW Freestyle weekly meal prep. I'm going to be making a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. I will leave the recipe and the smart points if you're on WW down in the description box below. I don't add my calories, I just do smart points, but everything in these recipes is usually calorie friendly and low in fat. So they're all such good recipes. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So make sure to subscribe if you're not. Give this video a thumbs up, and let's just jump into this video and just relax and watch me cook. Alright guys, for breakfast I'm going to be doing overnight oats. So this is the setup. You'll need a bowl. This is something different I'm using a bowl with a whisk, and I'm going to make it all together and mix it together instead of in the individual containers. I feel like that'll be a lot easier. I'm going to sweeten it with some sugar-free maple syrup. I have some old-fashioned oats, unsweetened vanilla almond milk, 2 peaches. I have a little bit of almonds. I'm only going to use a very tiny bit. And then to flavor it and give it the really good effect is using this sugar-free butterscotch pudding mix. So I have that, and then I have these little containers here that I'm going to be storing them in. Okay, so first I'm going to add the oats into the bowl. And I'm going to do 2 cups oats. So that comes to 1/2 cup for each serving of overnight oats. So 2 cups. Next I'm going to take some of the almond milk. And I'm using vanilla unsweetened. Feel free to use whatever milk you prefer. I'm going to add 2 cups milk. Next I'm going to take the sugar-free maple syrup, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons to sweeten it. Next I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of the butterscotch pudding mix, and I think I'm going to do 2 tablespoons, and I think that will be plenty for this. Alright, now I'm going to just mix that all together. And then we're going to actually cook our peaches in the pan with a little bit of coconut oil and cinnamon and a little bit of syrup. Okay, next in a little pan, I'm going to add a little bit of coconut oil. I think I'm going to add like 1/2 tablespoon, if that. You don't really need much. Just enough to coat the pan. Alright. So just let your pan kind of heat up a little bit. Next, we're going to just add the peaches to the pan. We're going to turn that down pretty low. I have a 1/2 tablespoon here of the maple syrup. We're going to do 1 full tablespoon of that. You'll want to add just a pinch of sea salt. And then some cinnamon. I like cinnamon a lot, so I just added quite a bit. And then just let this kind of cook down for about 2 to 3 minutes. Just keep checking on it. So I'm just going to let this simmer for like 2 to 3 minutes, get a little bubbly and cook together. You guys, this is like a free air freshener. It smells so good. So I'm going to keep that on low and let it just simmer. Okay, now I'm going to add the oatmeal. I'm doing a half a cup in each. Right, next I'm going to add the peaches. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good, you guys. And this is so easy. Like, I feel like this is such an underrated breakfast because it's so easy to prepare. It's very affordable. Oats are usually rather affordable. The almond milk, I got just a little carton, which was like $1.80. And then the peaches were on sale, so I picked up 2 of those. So everything was, you know, pretty affordable. The pudding mix was 90 cents. A hearty breakfast, an affordable breakfast, and a tasty breakfast. So that's a win-win. Okay, now for the almonds, nuts are a little bit higher in points, but I feel like nuts are just a nice added crunch. So I'm only doing a half of a tablespoon to each, because I feel like that's plenty. So that's 1/2 tablespoon right there of these sliced almonds. So I'm going to do a half on each, just to add a little crunch. And nuts are just, they have benefits for you, you know. And then lastly, I'm going to add a little bit more cinnamon to the top. This looks so good. Give you guys a little close-up. Look how delicious this looks. Like, I just know this is going to be good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pop the lids on and store them in the fridge. So just pop the lids on and you put them in the fridge. And you can eat these, you guys, cold or hot. Whatever you prefer. Some people like them cold, and some people like them in the microwave, heated up. So totally whatever you like. I like them both ways, to be honest. I'll probably end up eating one hot, one cold. They're just a lot easier to do it this way. Obviously, you don't have to use a pan and cook them. So that's why I like to do overnight oats, because it's just a lot easier. There's no cooking besides what I did with the peaches. So I'm going to go ahead and store these in the fridge. Okay, you guys, this is such an easy recipe, and it's one of Joey's absolute favorite recipes. It's just Sloppy Joe's. So you'll need Sloppy Joe sauce. I've just got the Great Value brand. You can have 1/2 cup for 2 points, and you can have 1/4 cup for 40 calories. So this is actually pretty low in points. You'll need some barbecue sauce. To lower the points, I'm using sugar-free Hickory G. Hughes barbecue sauce. And then I have 96.4 lean ground beef, and I'm also going to be mixing in 93.7. I'm just mixing the two. I wish I had a 96.4, but they were all out. They only had one. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this. But I'm just going to be giving you the points for exactly what you see here. And then you'll need 1 white onion. And then for seasonings, just salt, pepper, and garlic and onion powder. I've mixed them in this little container because I use this all the time, so I just mixed them in that. So let's go ahead and cut our onion and get our beef cooking, and I'll show you what to do next. And then for the onion, I just try to cut it up as small as possible. And then I put it in the pan with some spray and cook it down, wilt them up a little bit, and then I add the meat and I let that cook until it's no longer pink, and then I add the sauce and the seasonings. Anyone else's eyes water really bad when they cut onions? Alright, I have my cast iron right here. I'm going to go ahead and spray it with extra virgin olive oil. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add my onions to the pan and get those cooking. Alright guys, now that most of it is done cooking and it's not pink, there's a few pieces, but those will keep cooking. I'm going to add some pepper. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And then garlic and onion powder. That a good stir. Now I'm going to add 1/2 cup of the sloppy Joe sauce. And I might add more. I haven't made this big of a batch, so we'll see if I need to add more. I'll know once I mix it all together. But to start, I did 1/2 cup. And then I have 1/2 cup of the barbecue sauce. I just did 1/2 of a cup in a 1 cup measuring cup. I'm going to add one more 1/2 cup of the sloppy Joe sauce. So 1 cup total of the sloppy Joe sauce. I kind of figured. And I have 1/4 cup, so I'm going to add 1/4 cup of the sugar-free sauce, add a little bit more. So mix that in now, and that should be perfect. I like it pretty saucy, so if you like it saucy, I would do this if you're making this big of a batch. If you're not making as big of a batch and you don't really care if it's, extremely saucy, you can, of course, change the measurements to what you like. Alright, this looks so good. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit, let it kind of boil together, get real thick, and then it'll be done. Oops. Okay guys, it's done. This makes quite a bit of servings. I do 1/3 cup as a serving because you're going to put this on top of a bun. So I feel like 1/3 cup scoop on a bun is a lot. It's a great portion for a yummy sandwich. So for a yummy sloppy Joe. So that's how I prefer to do it. Put it all into the containers. Okay, I have a bun here so I can show you what 1/3 cup looks like on the bun. So it made 13 servings, so it made 13 1/3 cups. And this is 1/3 cup on top of a bun. Look how much. So that's how I measure it out. I feel like that's a really good size portion for a sloppy Joe. Alright, Alright guys, for the next recipe, it's going to be a croissant pepperoni roll-up. So you will need reduced fat crescent rolls. I'm using the Great Value reduced fat crescent rolls. You'll need fat-free mozzarella, some turkey pepperonis, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil spray to spray on the top so that the seasonings stick. We're going to be using some oregano, dried oregano, onion and garlic powder, and just a little bit of salt for the top. I've actually never made these, so I'm excited. I have a baking sheet lined with aluminum foil. And then I will be dipping these in like marinara sauce. I'm using this old cutting board because this stuff is like really sticky, and I don't think it's like really sticking to the wood, luckily, so that's good. I'm going to layer it with cheese first. So I'm just going to add some cheese. And then I'm going to add pepperoni. And then I'm just going to roll it up. Ball like this. Alright, now I'm going to spray them. I still have a little bit of cheese, so I'm going to just put it onto the top of a few of them, which I'm sure it might fall off, I don't know, but I have very little left. I'm going to add the seasoning. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and pop these into the oven and let them bake. Alright you guys, they're done and they look so good. I put them on the plate, let them cool, but this is what they look like. Very cheesy. Oh, they're hot. Oh, look at that. Ooh. And like I said before, I'll be serving it with like a sauce like this. Just a chunky tomato, garlic, onion, pasta sauce. Or you can make your own sauce. But I'm just going to use this. So that will be our dinner. I actually decided to pack them up in aluminum foil. So that's how I'm going to do it instead of a plastic bag. I feel like they'll stay more fresh in aluminum foil. There we go.
The way that things have been, oh